Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A Madison couple faces homicide, stalking, and battery charges for conspiring to poison 2 women.
I am scared for myself. I'm scared for my 2 children because I'm constantly bracing for what Paul and Andrea might do next.
That was one of the victims speaking in Dane County Court about 43-year-old Paul Van Dyne Jr. and 41-year-old Andrea Whitaker. They're accused of breaking into the women's cars, then filling water bottles with cyanide, placing homemade Abrin in the car's ventilation, and filling a plastic tote with hydrogen sulfide. The second victim in Rock County was hospitalized after she and her middle-aged school sister became sick inside her vehicle. Bail is set at $10 million for Van Dyne and $4 million for Whitaker. The University of Wisconsin is filing a lawsuit against the University of Miami football team, claiming the team broke the law by tampering with the Badgers player, a first-of-its-kind legal attempt to enforce the terms of a financial contract between a football player and his school. First reported by ESPN's Dan Murphy, the lawsuit claims that an alumni and a member of Miami's football team met with freshman Xavier Lucas and offered him money to transfer to Miami shortly after he signed a 2-year contract with Wisconsin's football program. The lawsuit filed on Friday claims interference on Miami's part, that they interfered and knowingly compelled a player to break their contract with the Badgers. The lawsuit comes as the NCAA allows colleges to pay players this year for NIL. This year's Miss Wisconsin didn't just take home the crown, she made history. Willow Newell, representing Racine, became the first Black woman to win the Miss Wisconsin title Saturday night in New Berlin. This is what Newell said about the experience.
We were able to just bond and get to know each other a lot better. This is a scholarship organization, so it's really celebrating the women who are in school, who have big dreams and big goals. And the week ended perfectly, not just because I have the title now, but because I was able to share such an amazing moment with everyone, celebrating all of us on stage.
Newell will represent Wisconsin at the Miss America 2026 competition this September in Orlando, Florida. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 1017 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. You know, I realized I'd only had like 1 or 2 cups of coffee today, so I had to go get me some nice, hot, warm coffee from the 3rd Street Market Hall. So, how do you like your coffee? Do you drink coffee?
I do.
How do you like it?
French vanilla, 2 creamers, 2 sugars, honey.
Man, that's like turn into a diabetic and getting fat at the same time. Good Lord. I like it black. Straight
Too bitter
black.
for me.
Straight black. Well, you're drinking the wrong kind of coffee. You got to look at the different places it comes from. South America versus Central America versus Africa, Northern Hemisphere, Southern and figure out which one is yours and then drink it. Black coffee is, people say, it's a drug. I'm like, everything's a drug. Yeah, eat too much or drink too much of something, they can affect you like a drug. That's just me, but, I'm just some random guy on the radio trying to, make sure he does the right thing. And I know a lot of people struggle with things that they do. And we talked about this not too long ago. Things that people struggle with because they don't know how to get themselves out of a pattern, right? And so somebody suggested hypnotism. And I don't really know, I've heard so many rumors about hypnotism where, it has to work. It only works if you believe in it and blah, 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 blah. And I know a lot of medical doctors and psychotherapists that use hypnotism, right? But there's another thing that's in that same family called autosuggestion. And so I thought, well, that sounds pretty cool, autosuggestion. Like you can, suggest yourself, talk yourself into. And then I realized, there are so many things in our lives that suggest to us what to do, how to act, where to go, what your future will be, but we don't really look at that. We look at some of it as superstition. We look at some of it as whatever. In law enforcement, they teach you positive self-talk. So while you're running through, you're hollering some cadence on a high-risk call, and they respond. It's call and response. On a high-risk call, I will survive. You have to give yourself the positive mental state, not necessarily the attitude, but the state in that moment that you're going to win. If you think you get into a gunfight that you're going to lose or you're going to die, you'll probably lose and die. And yes, there's an instance where you can actually win a gunfight and die. I'm just saying. Positive self-talk. I love self-talk. I just have trouble when people say positive, right? Because positive has caused the problem that we have in society and in culture today anyway, that every single thing you do, everything you say, everything you touch, everybody you're with has to be positive. Are you having a good day? Well, no, I'm not having a good day. Today blows like it's bad. And why can't we have the opportunity to simply say that? Why is it when we talk about over-delivery, I can't be vulnerable and say I'm having a bad day so somebody else can pick up the slack? For me, that's over-delivery. You giving 125% when I'm giving 100 doesn't really help me. Okay. But if I'm at 75% and you give 125%, that means both of us can balance 100. I could work with that. But that's not what we do. We want everybody to be positive. There's no point of vulnerability so that you can get to know people. And so we talk about getting to know people where we work, where we live, and families, but we can't be vulnerable publicly. We can't have bad things happen and respond. We can't cry. We can't get upset. We can't get mad. Oh, that's terrible. Look at that person. They screaming and hollering and all mad, but you don't even know why. You're just bashing and trashing the response. But if somebody's vulnerable enough to be who they are, to get upset, to get mad, as I have done on this show, hollered back and forth, to be vulnerable, a point of vulnerability is something I think everybody needs to get to. But the only way you can get there is if you have a series of auto-suggestions that keep you not necessarily balanced, but brings you back to equilibrium, right? And then you start from there. Might fall off the wagon and get mad again, but at least you can keep restarting yourself. For me, I talked about that before, it's poetry. For other people, it's superstition. Now, for a point, for me, there's a little superstition in there. I am a very superstitious person when it comes to the arts. When it comes to the arts, I am very superstitious. What does that mean? Got to take a sip of coffee. when I say I'm superstitious, I don't like for people to tell me, have a great show. And see, people think it's funny now when they say, have a great show. They think it's being positive. I think it's being dumb. Right? It's like when someone tells you, hey, I don't respond to that well. You know, I'm more of a break a leg kind of guy. Instead of respecting you, like they say they do, they say, have a good show. And what that shows me is that that person is literally purposefully and intentionally disrespecting me. Like they don't care how I feel. They don't care what I think. And so I say, okay, now. So now I don't respond to people when they say, have a great show. And somebody just noticed that. They said, have a great show. And I walked away and I didn't say anything. And they went, oh, I'm sorry, break a leg. I said, thank you. Because it's superstitious to wish people good luck. And for me, it's transferred from the theater to radio to TV to anything. In law enforcement, you usually have to wear something every day. Something. Either drive the same car or wear the same color socks or, we've got, they had rules and procedures that say, hey, you got to wear this color socks and this color shoes and you can't have this and you can't have that. But every day, because of superstition, I made it a point to have one thing, that I wasn't supposed to have. Something silly, maybe a pin on my vest that I wasn't supposed to have. This I did my entire career. I wore white socks instead of black socks because I had boots on. And when I wore black socks, I took my boots off and my shoes made my feet, because they sweat so bad, black. Not doing that anymore. Because the dye got in my feet. All those things. Superstition. I am a very superstitious person when it comes to the art, to the arts, when it comes to doing things on a daily basis. I have to do things in order and have to do things in a certain way. Part of it is the ADHD. Some of the things have to be like, it's either 100% perfection or I'm just not going to bother with it. If I can't fix it, I'm not going to bother with it. Why? Because I'm superstitious. Because my auto-suggestion says, these are the things you're going to need to have a great day. Even if everything around you goes bad, these are the things that I have to have in order to be great. I have to do things in a certain way, roll out my show in a certain way, drive here in a certain way. Although sometimes I'll change that because, y'all crazy people be following people. I'll email in a certain way. I mean, it's weird. It comes down to, if I send an email and it's a group, it has to be in a certain order. Like I'm an alpha order kind of guy. Everything's in alphabetical order. Well, it's the wrong order. Yeah, I know, but that's how I have to have it. And in order to do that, you have to be vulnerable. You have to be able to tell yourself, this is who I am. This is what I do. And Kyle was talking about it earlier. Your mental health, not somebody else's mental health for you, but your mental health has to be taken care of by you. For me, it's autosuggestion. But yet every time I ask somebody something, oh, I can't. What do you mean you can't? Oh, I can't. Have you tried it? No. But it's not something you don't know whether or not you can't do because you tried it and failed. You've never tried it because you literally don't think you can do it. Right, I can't. Well, no. I can't means you tried it and you didn't do it. That's not failure, that's growth. Now you know what you should avoid. This person said, I can't. I was like, have you tried? No. But yet you have all these dreams you want to have, and you have a dream of all these things, but yet you tell yourself, I can't. So you auto-suggest yourself, you self-talk yourself into not doing something that you have no idea whether or not you can do it or not. You talk yourself into not doing it because you simply tell yourself two words, I can't. But then you proceed to tell me all the plans you have. Hey, let's get together because I got this group thing and this project, and we can work together and we can get all this done. And the only thing in the back of my mind is, I can't. And so when you ask me to help you, the only thing that comes to my mind, you won't.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth. Good Karma Brands would like to send out a big congratulations to Tori Lowe. Tori recently received a proclamation from both the city of Milwaukee and Milwaukee County. So going forward, July 5th will now be recognized as Tori Lowe Day. Tori's activism, advocacy, and hard work makes Tori more than deserving of this recognition. Tori's family at 1017 The Truth celebrate Tori for always being about that action. And we know this is just the beginning, and there is so much more to come as a result of Tori's efforts and leadership. Congratulations again, Tori.
Hi, Drew and Jonathan Scott here, reminding you that a lot of life's firsts are better with help from American Family Insurance. Like your first home expansion or your first big lightning strike. There's a first for everything. Get the right home policy at the right price with the right help from American Family's agents. Life's better when you're under American Family's roof. Insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company SI and its operating company 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
I've got to share that I am also a beneficiary of the Old National Bank Empowerment Loan Program. So, Tracy, with that being said, what is the Empowerment Loan Program?
Great. Well, the Empowerment Loan Program is a special purpose loan program that we launched 2 years ago. It has been a success. It was something, again, near and dear to the heart of not only our chairman and CEO, but just our organization as a whole. We work with contractors, consulting firms, retail food operations, daycares. In fact, so far, we've approved $50 million of loans to minority and women-owned businesses within a 2-year period.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners, 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
At Gruber Law Offices, we've helped tens of thousands of families after a serious accident. Our priority has always been our clients. We're here for you whenever you may need us. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris, 833-212-1017 is the number. So I was kicking around some stuff today, and I was looking at the fact that, let me check and see, just to be sure, because right now it's 62 degrees outside. I'm sorry. Ooh, got that wrong. Old one, 70 is 79 degrees. The high was 82 with tonight the low is 62 degrees. Right now it feels like 83 degrees. Humidity is at 70%. So with a light wind from the southwest at about 4 miles an hour. So yeah. Interesting. So y'all wanted hot weather. I guess y'all got it. So question, what is the role a friend plays in your life? That's the question. What role does a friend play in your life? Because I believe we make friend a little too easy. You know, oh yeah, that's my friend. Okay, like what do you know? Like, are there certain things you're supposed to know about your friend? Or are there things that you should be able to say about your friend? Or are there things that you should be able to share with you? Like, what is a friend? 833-212-1017. What is a friend? By the way, you can stream and watch us live on YouTube and at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of a live show like when I'm here, Monday through Friday from 4 to 6. So, what's a friend? Because we talk about this person is my friend, but do we really understand what that entails? I wonder. Do we really understand this is what a friend is? And is there something a person can do? Is there something a person can do to lose your friendship? And no, I'm not talking about the thing, I know that person slept with my husband, slept with my wife, stole my money. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about something completely disconnected that a person can do that'll make you go, oh, no, we're not friends anymore. Is it how they treat other people? Is it selfishness? Is it always being one-sided where you feel you're doing everything for somebody else, but they're not doing anything for you? Because most people are misguided in how they gauge what they do based on someone else, because they usually think they're doing more when in fact they're not. It's almost a given that when you think you're the victim, yeah, you're probably not. Okay, forget probably. You're not the victim. And when you're not the victim, you need to come to grips with the fact that the thing that everyone has in common, or if everybody's complaining about the same thing, it's you. It's you. But yet, we spend an inordinate amount of time when it comes to friends looking at other people. So I'm interested in knowing your idea of what is a friend. What's the role a friend plays in your life? Are they there for a time and, you know, you just kind of lose touch and disappear? Or is it, or what is it? I'm just wondering. 833-212-1017 is the number. It just people use that term so loosely. Let's be friends. I'm like, well, what if I don't want you as a friend? And I know I talked about this about a year ago. You know, I don't have a lot of friends because what I consider a friend is a ride or die. No matter how I mess up, you'll correct me. No matter how good I do, you'll remind me, hey, dude, yeah, you all that. You ain't all that. Like a friend. I think a friend is there because they're there. And they're there. And when bad things happen, they're there. When good things happen, they're there. Good mood, bad mood, crappy mood. Like for me, if you're a friend, there's not a lot you can do to make me not be your friend. The one thing I see somebody doing that can make you not be my friend is something that's important to me. 833-212-1017 is the number. James, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
Fine. I realize first and foremost that people are going to have different definitions of friends, but for me, it's a person who is concerned about your well-being for the most part. And that means even telling me, you know, I'm wrong when I'm wrong and just telling me the truth, period. You know, and, you know, my philosophy is there's liabilities, there are assets. And so when you become an asset, you add to my life by making sure, you know, doing your best here, but to make sure I'm good if I'm going through something, to always tell me the truth and, you know, be there for me winning if you can. You know, I got two guys right now I truly call friends. And I would actually probably, honestly, this may sound crazy, but you could tell me certain things about him. I can 9 times out of 10 say, no, that wasn't him. No, you're wrong about that or wrong about that. Because I have one special, these friends, matter of fact, period. We've laughed together, we've cried together, we got angry together, we want to do some silly stuff together, and one would talk the other one out of it and everything. At the time, we were going through some things in our life, you know. And they were there for me. And like I said, we pretty much talk like, you know, every week for the most part, and just say, hey, how's it going, and encouraging one another. And, you know, I just believe in my heart and my mind that they've shown me more than once that if I need them, they'll be there for me.
Do you look at what your friend gives you in terms of, like, for me to consider somebody to be my friend, that I have about 4 or 5 guys that if I pick up the phone and say, I need to meet with y'all, they'll be like, okay, so what time? And can I get on a plane fast enough to get, or we going to meet in another city and we going to talk? Like that kind of friend who will go over and above for me, just like I would go over and above for them, whether they ask it or not. Do you have that kind of friend?
You know what? Yes, both of those guys. Let me say this to you, Dr. Ken. As crazy as this may sound, I can call the guy right now and say, hey, man, I need you to come here, man. I need you to bring something with you. Man, they're not going to ask no questions. They're going to come there. They're going to be there, man, whatever it is. However it turn out is how it's going to turn out, but they'll be there.
Okay. Now, are you talking in a negative sense or a positive sense?
No, positive sense. Okay. Positive sense.
No. I mean in terms of bring something with them.
Well, if we need to bring something with them, they got to bring something with them, depending on what we got going on at that time.
But see, that's therein lies the rub for me. Are you saying that when it hits the fan, I could call you and depend on you, that's what makes them a friend? Or is it they see me in need, or I call and say, hey, you know what? Let's roll. And they go, okay, let's roll. Because it doesn't have to be negative. If it's negative all the time, is that really a friend, or is that like, you know?
No, you're right. It's negative or positive. You're right.
Security force. Yes. You got a security force?
Yes. Yes, exactly, yeah. So either at the end of the day, if I call them, man, whatever's going on, and like I said, and I may just need to talk or something, man, and their line is never busy. It's like, okay, hey, man, well, let's go sit and have a cup of coffee or something, whatever you're going through, you know. And I'll say this here. I'll tell anybody in this life, you know, find somebody you can depend on that can kind of help you through this life, because, you know, at times it's trying to be a man. You're going to need somebody shoulder you can cry on sometime, man, and somebody you may have to cuss it out sometime or fuss it out sometime, whatever it takes. Somebody who's willing just to listen sometime and be there for you.
But what do you mean lean on? Like, what is that?
Okay, the bottom line is, like, whatever I'm going through in my storm, right, somebody I can just say, hey, be a shoulder for me to lean on me and that, okay, hey, man, I don't understand what you're going through.
Wait.
But I'm here for you.
I got to cut you off, because every time you mention friend, your immediate example is negative. Bring something with you when I'm crying. What are the positive sides of being a friend?
Okay, here's the positive side of all that.
Okay.
That if I'm on something stupid, that same friend, he may come and say, oh, whoa, man, no, we're not going to go down that lane right there, man. It's not worth it.
Again, that's negative.
The positive side
negative.
Of it.
They're always saving you. What's some positive stuff that if I'm going to do something and you're not going to roll with me, you're not my friend? Give me something positive.
No, see, it's not like that. Okay, but if I need $1 or my mortgage need to be paid or something like that, whatever it is, you know, at the end of the day, if I need them for something, they're there for me.
So
I'm there for them as well.
They have to give you something in order to prove their friendship?
No.
But every example you've given me is that. But every example you've given me is that.
Well, okay. Well, most of the time when it comes to friends, right? I mean, shouldn't friends be there when you need them if they're your friends?
No.
If they can. You saying they shouldn't be?
I'm saying friends should just be there, whatever the circumstance is.
Okay, we're saying the same thing. I guess I'm saying it a different way.
No.
Whatever the circumstances, yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Come on.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right.
Because it's not always like I'm in need, and like I said, sometimes I may just like, hey, again, you know, hey man, what you doing today, man? Let's go have a cup of coffee or something today, just kick it or whatever. Sometimes, you know, just to kind of, you know, do board. Matter of fact, I won't say this, let you go. I'm thinking about your time. My friends ride motorcycles, right? And so I'll call sometimes and say, let's take us a guy trip. and we just go hang out, man. And people just do what they do. Some smoke cigars, some drink. You understand? Some don't. But that's what we do.
Okay. Now you rounded it out, because man, everything you was giving they was doing everything for you.
No, but I'll be there for them too as well, Dr. Kid. Yes, I
wasn't hearing that. All right, man. Take care.
All right, you too, my man.
833-212-1017 is the number. Lanita, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good afternoon, Dr. Ken. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing wonderful. So this friend thing, right? Reason, season, lifetime. So you have people in your life that think will be with you for a long time, but they might just be there for a reason.
Okay.
I often taught my children that you have associates, you have classmates, you have friends. Friends are people that you have without judgment. They don't judge you. They correct you, and you're okay with that correction. They're there for you, and, they just really are there for anything.
Okay.
Nothing negative. They will definitely talk you out of negative things if they're your friends.
Will they help you through negative
where
things?
The ups and downs, or through negative things. That's true too. So for me, friends is not something that you take lightly. There are people that's in your life, they're just associates, so you just kind of hang out with them. But then you have those people that will sit with you when your parents are not doing well. They will make those sacrifices for you.
Mm-hmm.
And you the same. Because you can't expect people to do that and you're not being a friend as well. So that's my take on friends.
But then for a person to be a friend, do they have to give you what you give them? Because that relationship is never going to always be equal. Matter of fact, it'll never be equal. Because one of the people in that relationship is going to be stronger, faster, taller, better looking. Whatever it is, there's always going to be something that both of them are going to have positive attributes that the other one doesn't have.
Of course.
So if you don't have that, are you still hanging though?
Yes. Yes, I've had all of that. I have all of that. So everybody is at their own personalities,
Mm-hmm.
their own characters, and you know who will rock with you and who won't.
So,
and it's good to know that early on, so you don't make the mistake of being in a relationship or friendship that is toxic.
So which one? And I'm gonna have you make a choice, and I guess I should ask everybody, which one is more important? The interaction you have, the culture, the relationship you have. Like, what changes friendship? Does class change friendship, or does this person, like, what else? Like, for me, class changes friendship. Sometimes you can't hang out with people that are of a different class because you don't really have much in common.
Right. That's understandable. For me, I think to an extent it's class, but if you have grown with a friend, they're growing. You all are growing together. You are excelling together. You are supporting each other in that growth.
But so some people have grown and started, like people you went to college with and where they are now versus where they were then. You might have been friends in college, but your class or their status may have significantly exceeded yours, where you don't hang out with them anymore. Or did they just grow apart? Like, what makes that change other than class then?
Nothing. Because I have friends like that. Like, they are at a higher, I'll say, financially, they're higher than I am, right? But socially, we're on the same level. Conversation-wise, we're on the same level. So the only difference is how much we're making, really. And they may go on more trips than I go on. So
with
not a
different
huge
people who can make the trip
drawback.
with them, but you can't. So do they try to include you on the trip?
They'll ask, yes, but I'm
No.
honest.
Do
I'll
they
just
try
say,
to include you on the trip? Like if I'm going on a trip and I really want somebody to go with me, I might say, hey, I'll pay your ticket if you want to roll. Let's roll. For me, that's a friend.
oh, yeah. I have friends like that, yes.
Okay. Well, thank you much. I appreciate it, Lenita.
Of course. No problem. Have a great evening.
All right. You too. 833-212-1017 is the number. What's a friend? Like, what is a actual friend? What changes? Because talking to the both of them made me think, well, what changes your friendship? Like, why don't I have the same friends I had in elementary school? I have one or two friends I had in elementary school that I don't have now. But some guys that I knew in high school, I don't want to have nothing to do with them. Nothing. Very few of them are, I don't know. I'm not going down that road, but we just not friends anymore. I've grown out of friendship with them. And so one person asked me, why? Like they literally called me and said, why don't you want to do this? And I told them why. When we come back, I'll actually share with you what I told this person when I got invited to my class reunion. And they said, and I said, quote, who's at the table? And they said, these people. And I went, nah, that's okay. Like I literally didn't want to come because I didn't want to be bothered with those people. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. And now with 1017 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Well, we've got an accident on 94 southbound, just south of 7 Mile Road. It's got the right lane blocked and a car facing the wrong way. So give it lots of time as folks are trying to get through there. It's going to be a bit of a bottleneck. Beyond that, well, we do have some delays. Southbound 41 slowing from before Good Hope Road all the way down past an accident scene just north of Silver Spring. Northbound 43 is backing up from Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. And then on southbound 41 backing up from just south of Good Hope Road down past Capitol Drive. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, chance for scattered storms, a low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance for scattered storms, a high of 73. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Tsunami Express Car Wash opens June 25th in New Berlin, located on Coffee Road near Dollar Tree. Celebrate at our New Berlin location with free washes, giveaways, and special membership deals June 25th through July 6th. 100% of membership sales during the Tsunami Express New Berlin grand opening will support their nonprofit partner, Special Spaces Wisconsin, creating dream bedroom makeovers for children battling cancer. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com/New Berlin.
Immerse yourself in a place where bold ideas are sought after, where all are encouraged to bring their personal flourish. Here, innovation is a way of life. In this city, the beat flows. Together, we're dancing to the rhythm. Forward. Now, it's your turn to grab hold of that energy, where you'll remember not just the meals, the celebrations, or the uncommon coast. What you'll remember is how we made you feel. Come experience Milwaukee, where fresh meets fearless every day.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design.
Great
Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Hey, wouldn't it be great if life came with a remote control? You know, you could hit pause when you needed to, or hit rewind. Like that time you knocked down that wasp's nest.
Uh-oh.
Or that time you forgot to roll up your windows in the car wash.
Fantastic.
Yeah, a remote control would have come in handy then. Well, life doesn't always give you time to change the outcome, but prediabetes does. With early diagnosis and a few healthy changes like managing your weight, getting active, stopping smoking, and eating healthier, you can stop prediabetes before it leads to type 2 diabetes. It's easy to learn your risk. Take the 1-minute test today at doihaveprediabetes.org. Life doesn't come with a remote control. So you're on your own with the wasps. You have the power to take control of prediabetes. Visit doihaveprediabetes.org today. That's doihaveprediabetes.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and its prediabetes awareness partners.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Milwaukee Brewers are heating up. They just swept the Twins over the weekend, capping it off with a 9-8 win on Sunday behind big bats from Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Terang.
The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. Ball game over. Trevor McGill shuts the door on the Twins comeback, and the Brewers sweep Minnesota in the Twin Cities.
They've now won 4 straight and sit at 43-35 on the year. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions after beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the finals. 103-91 was the final score. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 29 points and 12 assists, earning finals MVP honors.
You play the sport to win. You play every sport to win. We have a team full of competitors. We did what it took this year to be champions, and we deserve this.
The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Let me check this talking text line. Y'all done blewed up the... Is that a word, blewed up? Or blowed up? Blewed up? Anyway. S.E. Quanda. What's going on, Quanda? You supposed to be first, Quanda. Not really a city girl. Hey, Dr. Ken, you look nice. Thank you very much. Hello, chat family. Mao, you supposed to speak to me first instead of everybody else. What's going on? What's going on, Mao? Let's see. Sylvia, Curly Q, what's going on? So here's the weird part. Curly Q said, "Good afternoon, Dr. Ken and my chat family I haven't seen today." It's a chat. Why would you see them? Okay, I'm just... I just want a good class session. I don't have to leave confused or screaming. Ooh. Anyway. Kawanda Dukes, oh dear, till thy canine con, you will never get that wish granted except during Dr. Ken's class. All y'all need to quit. So here's the other thing about friends, and I'm way behind. My BFF, what is a best friend forever? Because I don't see friends being there forever. Some are, some aren't, but y'all be giving BFF to people. You know, y'all be giving that designation to people. Like somebody said it to me, "You're my BFF." I'm like, no, I'm not. Like I literally said it out loud. They were in a big room. And they were like, "You're my BFF." I'm like, no, I'm not. I said, I don't even know you like that. I don't know your full name. I don't know your middle name. I don't know your parents' name. I don't know where you live, where you're from, where you went to school, like all that. And we were BFFs? Nah, I don't think so. Vincent, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Good evening, Dr. Ken. As far as friends are concerned, the bulk of my friends
that I have. We've had over a 50-year relationship.
How many of them is it? About how many of them is it?
I have 5.
Okay.
5 friends.
Okay.
5 friends, and we went to school together, from grade school to high school. Several of them we went to the same church together. And I think what makes a friend, what made us friends, is because of our values and our goals, the things that we wanted to accomplish in life, and how we were going to accomplish it. We understood that individuals that we, kind of hung around, we understood, just like our parents did, that these weren't the kind of people we need to be hanging around with. The ones that wanted to bring you down, and wanted to do damage and things of that sort. So we understood that kind of individual we didn't want to be around, and so we have grown together over the years. And it's such a blessing to have that, to have those guys. And so it's like it's not a week that goes by that we're not contacting each other and making sure everybody's okay. Everybody's okay. Since we're getting up in age, everybody has to check on me, make sure everybody's okay. We have each other's numbers. We've been to each other's weddings. We've been to each other's best men. And so I think the values and the attitudes, and it's not like a value thing. The fact is, some have not made it as far as we thought they would made it. But the point is that they're there, and we're going to make sure that what we have, they have.
Do you think that you made it further because they were your friends versus not?
Yes, because they were my friends. Yes, because some of the advice I got from several of my friends helped me out tremendously, especially financially and things of that sort. That helped me out emotionally and in other ways, and vice versa to others. Mm-hmm. And so it's about that camaraderie that we know that will last the test of time, and so when you have those individuals, you know who those individuals are.
Oh yeah.
I think everybody has them, and but the point is, like I said, it's been over 50 years, and we cherish it every time we get together. So it's a very positive thing in my life, and I'm sure people who don't have friends, and I like to talk to younger people, And they always are amazed how long we've stayed together, because they don't have those friends, they don't have those connections,
right?
And so they're kind of amazed of how long we've lasted. And so we try to explain to them that you have to find the right people, you have to connect with the right folks, and if they don't have your interest in your well-being in mind, then you need to cut those folks loose. Because they're not your friend.
All right. Thank you much. I appreciate it.
Take it easy.
Yeah. And that's one of the things. That's one of the things that we miss. Right. So before we go to break, talking text line, somebody said that friends, in the time of need, my friends gave me thousands. Those are true friends. I don't look at those as true friends. It takes nothing to give somebody money and get it back. Money does nothing. Give me your time. Give me your talent. Give me your wisdom. Give me your ability. Money? That's pretty superficial.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, are you looking for a fun opportunity to showcase your clothing line, restaurant, nonprofit organization, food truck, or small business? Well, look no further than doing it at our Truth Family Fest on Saturday, August 23rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at Riverside University High School. We are currently accepting vendor applications for our festival, and you don't want to miss out on this great opportunity to promote your business and be part of all the fun. To be a vendor at Truth Family Fest, visit truthfamilyfest.com and sign up today.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget, and right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am ASAP and Maya Angelou.
I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass.
From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep scholars recite not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning. Because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar for the 2025-26 school year at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Gruber offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. We've been talking about friends. Friends. I also look at friends in terms of organizations you're with, right? So there are organizations you can be with where you have to be that person, but you can't really be like who you are. And then there are other places where you can just be vulnerable and just don't feel like doing stuff and just chill, you know? And those are the kind of organizations I like. Miles said, I care less about the money. My circle may be small, but it is mighty. Despite all of us being buried in fatherly duties, we always find a way. I think you might be misinterpreting what I meant by money. I don't mean about having money, or I'm talking about giving money. That you're not a friend as if I need, like I've known people that got mad when they asked me for money and I told them no. Well, you're not really a friend. You're not really a brother. Well, if that's your barometer, then I never was. Because unless you share with someone what the issue is, they might be able to help you get out of it in a way that you don't know and you don't see because you're too close to it. And I had a family friend who said, hey, can you loan us some money? And here's what I told them. It wasn't a lot. Here's what I told them. I'm going to give you the money. I do not want you to pay me back because I'm going to give you the money. Now, if you can't pay me back, don't take the money. But don't say you're going to pay me back and then don't pay me back, because then that's a whole other issue. In the 5 o'clock hour, I'll tell you what it's about. In the meantime, you got about a minute. Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Well, you know, you can lose friends if they don't pay you your money back, and you can also lose friends if they try to compare you to friends who don't pay you back, who don't pay them back because you are your own individual.
Mm-hmm.
But I say true friends are those who will tell you when you're good, they'll tell you when you're wrong, they'll be there for you unconditionally. Those friends are hard to come by, and you will always have a small circle of friends.
Mm-hmm.
And friends will tell you about how some people might be out of order and how some friends are fake and phony, but they will let you make that decision for yourself. But they will enlighten you and say, you better watch that one right there because there's something about that one that ain't sitting right, but I'll let you make your own decision on that.
All right. Well, thank you much, Al.
That's what real friends are. Have a good day.
Appreciate
Bye-bye.
it. And so it sounds like what I'm getting from all this is friends are barometers, right? They kind of tell you when the water's too hot, when the water's too cold, those types of things. Money is easy. Like if I say, I care about you, and then I give you money. Are you saying if I don't give you money, I don't care about you? I don't think that's true. That's why money, especially in a friendship, is so superficial. Now, if you need money because you're building a business and we're going to invest in you and you build it up and we have co-ownership and all that, that's a different kind of money. That's a different kind of money. I'm talking about, hey, my rent's not getting paid, and it's like the 5th time that your rent ain't got paid. You need a friend to tell you, hey, you need to stop doing this and do that. You need to be vulnerable and open where you let them see what your finances are so you can fix it. That's another reason why. And somebody said it on the chat. Jealousy, envy. I've never been jealous or envious of anybody because every level has its own set of devils. It has its own set of issues. So just because you live, who was it? That other girl who sings that I don't like to say her name, just bought a $13 million house or something. Guess what? You got to pay for that. She can't stop working. That's the other part. That taxes on it are significantly over a couple $1 million a year. And so we forget the person that has a $50,000 house with $1,000 of taxes versus $13 million and $1 million of taxes. But you know what I say to all that? Do you? Top 5 at 5 next.
Summerfest is back, and the award-winning 101.7 The Truth has you covered with front-row access passes to the best concerts at Summerfest this year.
Tune in to all your favorite Truth shows every day so you do not miss your chance to win tickets and wristbands to see artists like Offset, Bossman D-Lo, Ira Star, T Grizzly, and so many more.
Do not miss your chance to see these artists up close and personal during Milwaukee's biggest summer party. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance. Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth Team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our 3rd annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry, this is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Dad's gonna be far side, good.
What should I do with my dress?
Do little wiggles.
The slate's coming in.
What does it feel like when you're down or having a bad day?
It feels sad, like you just don't want to do anything.
All my little emotions in my head is just running crazy. I don't know what to do.
As a teacher or coach, do you ever feel overwhelmed supporting kids' mental health?
I had never experienced players being so down that they can't even participate.
He's just in tears in the huddle. I didn't know what to do.
Teachers need tons of help.
Kids Mental Health Foundation offers educational materials to help guide conversations with our students.
It's so important that we are constantly educating ourselves.
It's the same as the CPR class to me. We're trying to save a life here.
The Kids Mental Health Foundation has free tools and information developed by experts because kids' mental health starts with all of us. Scan the QR code or check out kidsmentalhealthfoundation.org to get started.
Get the truth and nothing but the truth with Sherwin Hughes every weekday from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. on 101.7 FM, 1510 a.m. WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. This is your 101.7 The Truth News Update.
Hello, everyone. This is Rhea Riley with your news update. A Madison couple faces homicide, stalking, and battery charges for conspiring to poison 2 women.
I am scared for myself. I'm scared for my 2 children because I'm constantly bracing for what Paul and Andrea might do next.
That was one of the victims speaking in Dane County Court about 43-year-old Paul Van Dyne Jr. and 41-year-old Andrea Whitaker. They're accused of breaking into the women's cars, then filling water bottles with cyanide, placing homemade Abrin in the car's ventilation, and filling a plastic tote with hydrogen sulfide. The second victim in Rock County was hospitalized after she and her middle-aged school sister became sick inside her vehicle. Bail is set at $10 million for Van Dyne and $4 million for Whitaker. The University of Wisconsin is filing a lawsuit against the University of Miami football team, claiming the team broke the law by tampering with a Badgers player, a first-of-its-kind legal attempt to enforce the terms of a financial contract between a football player and his school. First reported by ESPN's Dan Murphy, the lawsuit claims that an alumni and a member of Miami's football team met with freshman Xavier Lucas and offered him money to transfer to Miami shortly after he signed a 2-year contract with Wisconsin's football program. The lawsuit filed on Friday claims interference on Miami's part, that they interfered and knowingly compelled a player to break their contract with the Badgers. The lawsuit comes as the NCAA allows colleges to pay players this year for NIL. This year's Miss Wisconsin didn't just take home the crown, she made history. Willow Newell, representing Racine, became the first Black woman to win the Miss Wisconsin title Saturday night in New Berlin. This is what Newell said about the experience.
We were able to just bond and get to know each other a lot better. This is a scholarship organization, so it's really celebrating the women who are in school, who have big dreams and big goals, and the week ended perfectly, not just because I have the title now, but because I was able to share such an amazing moment with everyone celebrating all of us on stage.
Newell will represent Wisconsin at the Miss America 2026 competition this September in Orlando, Florida. This has been your news update. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris continues on the new 101.7 The Truth.
Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what, because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people up, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council,
Show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Breaking news, the 18-year-old suspect in the stabbing death in Frisco, Texas, you remember that? The track star, Austin Metcalf, was indicted by a grand jury today for first-degree murder. For weeks, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury. Today, I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Carmelo Anthony, which they did, Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis said. In that indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our part fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. The trial schedule will be set by the court, but when the time comes, we'll be ready. So you're looking forward to locking this kid up instead of having justice served. Okay. All right. Interesting. 833-212-1017 is the number. I wonder, does Fox News ever show black people killed by white people and then put that on their, website and make it digital? I'm just saying, because you're a news outlet that you should be in the middle. But anyway, I guess that's just wishful thinking. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but, oh well. Hey, they got a new name for Pick and Save. Did you know that?
What's the name?
Up and Gone.
Number 5.
So WISN 12 has a great story. The parent company of Pick and Save is closing 5 stores in Milwaukee. Impact the Wisconsin stores include 1734 West Silver Spring in Glendale, 3701 South 27th Street on the south side, 2315 North 35th Street on the north side, 2931 South Chicago Avenue, South Milwaukee, and 2320 West Ryan Road in Oak Creek. The closures are part of a restructuring effort by Kroger, the parent company of grocery chains Pick and Save and Metro Market. Kroger plans to close 60 of its stores nationwide over the next 18 months. 5 happen to be here. Jeffrey Walker, who shops at Pick and Save on 35th Street, said it's going to be a big inconvenience for us. Channel 12 News spoke to shoppers who learned Monday their grocery stores are being numbered. Susan Luling, who shops at the Ryan Road location, said, "You always hate to hear when a business has to close. It's hard on the community and it's hard on the business." So what do you do to offset this? Well, a Pick and Save spokesperson in a statement to WISN 12 News said, "We will offer each impacted associate the opportunity to transfer to a nearby location. This closure is part of a larger company-wide decision to run more efficiently and ensure the long-term health of our business." Of course, somebody added, Deron Hill, who shops at the Ryan Road location, is disappointing. "I did read about the closures in the news. I just wasn't sure if this was one of them, so it makes me wonder which of the others here in town will be closing too, because maybe my next choice will also be closed." So many people talk about the fact that they don't have a second chance or a second choice to go shopping and all that. And so here's my question. Where are all the entrepreneurs in the community that will just open up a store? Where? We keep talking and we complain about things, or we can actually work and change those things. Now, running that kind of store is that's not my jam. I can't, retail, I can't do it. That's just not me. Service, other things like that, consulting, other than that, cool. This, no, I can't do. And I get it. It's just not my thing. But there has to be people in the community that are versed enough to be able to open up a store of that caliber in the community and serve people. Now, the flip side to that, being totally transparent, y'all got to act right, too. You got to quit stealing from stores. And I'm talking to Milwaukeeans, white, black, Hispanic, Asian, Pacific Islander, Native, whoever, all y'all, stop stealing from the stores. Start shopping at your neighborhood stores. Right? So, I'm just saying. Can you drive? Do you? You don't even drive, do you?
I do, occasionally.
What does that even mean? Like, do you have a car here?
No. I do not have a car, but I am able to drive my friends around.
Oh, okay.
Usually I'm the designated driver.
Drive your friend's car around?
Yes.
Okay. Because you said, I don't have a car, but I can drive my friends around. I'm like, in what? Like a bicycle or something? Or put them in your front basket and ride them around town? Or like, put them on a scooter? Wow. You ever seen a drunk guy on a scooter before?
I have been that guy on a scooter.
You should not say that out loud. You shouldn't say. See, that generation ain't got no shame. He's being vulnerable, right? Say that. He's being vulnerable. Okay. Well, America has a new best drivers report. And where do you think Milwaukee lists?
I'm going to say 42nd.
Well, I mean in terms of crashes. So there's a median number where, well, there's an average, not a median, where, half are above and half are below. You think Milwaukee is above the average or below the average?
With all the banged up cars I've seen in Milwaukee, we are absolutely below. Number 4.
Well, Fox 6 Now says Milwaukee ranked 59th in a report with relative collision rate only 3.8% above the national average. Now, here's where you're right. The city ranked 45th in 2015. 10 years later, we're at 59. So I'm just saying, we more than, that's 14 additional points that we've risen, because one of the safest cities in the country is also located in Wisconsin. Where do you think that would be?
I want to say New York.
No. Did I say the country? My bad. In the state of Wisconsin, one of the 10 safest cities in the country is located in Wisconsin. What city do you think that is?
Manitowoc.
Manitowoc? Do they even have cars up in Manitowoc? They got cows. Get a horse and buggy. Madison. It slipped from 6th rank to 9th, but it's still in the top 10. The report compared to the national average, Madison drivers were 14.5% less likely to be involved in a crash. So, what is the most least dangerous city for drivers anywhere in the entire country? Is Boston, Massachusetts. Do you know anybody that drives in Boston, Massachusetts? No. Why? You ever been to Boston?
I lived there for 2 years.
Dude. Man. Driving in Boston? Never. Like, ever. I have never driven. There are some cities I've never driven a car in. Boston is one of them. I looked at the traffic. I said, dude, I'd rather drive in Manhattan. And I've actually driven in Manhattan. I've driven in Manhattan, drove to a borough, came back and went to Harlem, and then went back to Queens to go to LaGuardia Airport. I was okay because I'm from Chicago. Like, I get it. I know how to drive and maneuver and all that. Boston? No, sir. Because, first of all, very few people that are most people that are from Boston live in Boston. Everybody else lives in a suburb. And suburban people don't know how to drive. I'm just saying. They don't know how to. They don't know how to drive. That's why it's plus. You ready? The riskiest cities for drivers most likely to experience a collision with relative collision likelihood, according to Allstate. Boston, Massachusetts has a plus 244% chance of having a crash because they don't know how to drive, and the majority of people there ain't from there. Think about that. Washington, D.C., 172%. Baltimore, 153%. Worcester, Massachusetts, 147%. Notice it's all out east. Springfield, 130%. Now, least likely to experience a collision, Brownsville, Texas. There's a negative 29.9% chance you'll ever crash in Brownsville, Texas. I cannot see any reason to visit Brownsville, Texas, which is probably why they wouldn't have a crash there. Like if you ask me where you want to go, same as number 2, Boise, Idaho. If you ask me places I don't want to go, Brownsville, Texas is one of them. Guess what's second? Boise, Idaho. Hey, you want to go to Idaho? No. Montana? No. Hey, let's go visiting. I know, let's go to the Dakotas. Okay, I can rock that. Let's go to South Dakota. Okay, I can rock that. Let's go to Nevada. I can rock that. Colorado, Idaho. No. Montana. Absolutely not. And then Cary, North Carolina, and Laredo, Texas. So what it means is that stop texting and talking while you're driving. Obey the speed limit and be sober, like completely. Not the, I think I'm sober, so I'm going to drive, but the actual, I am sober and I'm going to drive. But then again, sober people don't necessarily do smart things either. Because this next guy I'm going to talk about, you'd have to be an idiot to vote for him.
Number 3.
So from Politico.com, Zoran Mamdani has surged so much in his upstate New York City mayoral campaign, upstart New York City mayoral campaign. He stands to win one of the biggest political prizes in America. Now, I think that's just Politico talking trash to support this guy. With that victory comes a major test for his what? Socialist movement. You'd be an idiot to vote for this guy. He still trails Andrew Cuomo in the polls, but has significantly closed the gap heading to today's Democratic primary. A win should shock the Democratic Party as it grapples with its national 2024 losses and inspires like-minded lefties to challenge establishment figures. But here's my issue. This guy would have a $115 billion budget, 300,000 employees, the nation's largest police force, and this is a guy who's socialist, so he will dismantle all this stuff. We'll dismantle everything. We'll give away everything. Now, you notice all the issues New York went with when they gave away everything to the immigrants that Biden dropped off. So if you think you're going to have issues then, you put this guy in office and you're done. Look at Chicago. Chicago is a dumping ground. I love the city of Chicago. I was born in the city of Chicago. I will never move back to the city of Chicago. There's not enough money in the world that you could pay me to live. And if I did, I would live in isolation and I would never leave my house. Why is that? Because these people, socialists, are crazy. Yes, I disagree with socialism. Totally. Totally. There aren't enough rich people in the world, in America, to pay for all the things you want to pay for. Therefore, you have to do what? You have to take from the middle class, because the middle class is the largest group of people you have in America. And if you don't think socialists are not going to take your money, they're going to start telling you how much money you should have. So go back and read Mein Kampf. Go back and read the Communist Manifesto if you really think that that's great, because I'm going to tell you, on paper it sounds great, but when you put human beings in there, whoo. When you put human beings in there, it is terrible. And as far as I'm concerned, as far as I remember, I don't remember any socialist regime, can't never say that word, any socialist regime lasting on planet Earth. They've all failed. Look at Cuba. Look at Russia. It doesn't work. Somebody said, well, look at the Netherlands, and look at all these other places that have it. Look at Canada. Right. And then they stop paying for stuff when you get to a certain age, or that's how they make it work. Oh, Sorry, Dr. Ken, you're too old. I know you need a knee replacement, but you're not going to get a knee replacement. You're just, just here's a cane. Walk. And that's what we've come to.
Number 2.
Well, it's official, and it's like actually happening again. Today, the Milwaukee County Common Council approved the creation of a 9-member task force. Oh, gee, another task force that will oversee an effort to design and approve a new Milwaukee City flag. Okay, so let me see. Education is in the dumps. Trash is in the dumps. Driving is in the dumps. Quality of life is in the dumps. Police are in the dumps. Fire in the dumps. We need to hire all these people. We got shootings. We got homicides. We got robberies. We got armed robberies. We got chases. We got traffic issues. But we also have a task force for a flag. They're charged with managing a community-driven campaign to solicit, evaluate, and recommend new flag designs. Does anybody care? Because now we're saying this flag, oh, there's something wrong with this flag. It's racist. They have a Native American in it. Oh, my gosh. Did they ask them whether or not it's okay that they be in the flag? No. We're going to always do what? We're going to speak for you. The fact that you say the people's flag of Milwaukee, which is a result of a 1916 grassroots design contest, that is a trash flag. The people's flag, we are not they're trying to make us into a socialist city. Like, it's weird. This is garbage. You actually have a Milwaukee City flag task force? A task force. And people are proud to be on the task force. Be on the task force to stop crime. Be on the task force to stop domestic violence. But no, we can't do that. We'd rather spend time with this. The new task force will include 3 members appointed by the mayor, 3 members appointed by Common Council president, and 3 members appointed by the chair of the Milwaukee Arts Board. Are you, that's dumb. It's dumb. And we're going to work on recommendations, and we feel proud because we got a new flag. Like, why do we need a new flag? Because somebody's unfortunate sensibilities got offended by something that they didn't like, so now they want to change it? Because no one can be offended anymore today. We can't disagree about anything. Oh, my God, you can't disagree. You have to agree with me about everything or something's wrong with you. That's so much fun. We got another task force. Yeah, we'll see how far that goes.
Number 1.
Well, Dr. Brenda Cassellius said it, so I guess we'll see how it goes. From JS Online, braving extreme heat warnings, June 23rd, that was yesterday. About 30 people filed past industrial fans in the hallways of James Madison to gather with Brenda Cassellius, the new superintendent of Milwaukee Public Schools. By the way, she's Dr. Brenda Cassellius, not just Brenda Cassellius. But that's those folks in the media who think people are so stupid that if you say doctor, you're talking about a medical doctor only. Anyway, it was the first of 10 events on Dr. Cassellius's Listen and Learn tour that will be hosted at different schools throughout the summer. The events are open to anyone, but most of the attendees June 23rd, yesterday, were MPS staff who spent about an hour sharing ideas for the district as Dr. Cassellius mostly listened. Dr. Cassellius said, "We may not have a full, huge standing crowd, but I can tell you the words that you're going to give and the information you're going to share with me today is totally incredibly valuable." Attendees encouraged Cassellius to offer more opportunities for both staff and families to share their experiences. Well, let her do her job. Look, let's get the job done first. I feel like we're overlooked a lot. A safety assistant said we're on the front line of the school, but we're always the ones that get overlooked or thrown under the bus. Nobody comes to us and asks us what we feel like could be different, and we see a lot. So cool. So they want more consistent staffing levels. Well, you got to go out and promote and go find people and get people to, Tresha Patton, a library coach who trains MPS school librarians, asked Dr. Cassellius to consider budgeting for librarians at all MPS schools. Currently, schools that only serve students through 5th grade do not automatically even get a part-time librarian, and budget documents show most of those 40 schools haven't found room for librarians in their budgets. And that's part of the issue of removing the budget from the principal and have the central office tell you this is what you need and here's your money for it. Because we think we have issues with children. No, not think. The numbers say we have issues with children not being able to read and write. Books are in the library. So if books are in the library, that means what? That means you gotta be in the library, means you need a librarian. But if teachers are taking librarians out of their budget, that's a problem. That's a problem. That's a main problem. So some of that. And I get it. I'm not in the weeds, so I'm not there, so I get it. But at some point, we need to make those changes, and those are some of the issues we have. You know what I'm saying? What are your thoughts? 833-212-1017 is the number. Any thoughts or comments about the top 5 at 5, you can hit me right now. Hey, it's 1017 The Truth. Dr. Ken Harris with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, it's time to upgrade your windows and or your doors. We got storms coming. Sometimes it rains. Sometimes it's hot. Sometimes it's cold. Sometimes it's wet. But you don't really want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every single budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions apply in 6/30 of 2025, so you only got like 6 days. You got to set your appointment right now, in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
What's up, Truth Nation? Come celebrate the grand opening of Tsunami Express Car Wash in New Berlin with Jammin' with Juice. We will be broadcasting live Friday, June 27th from 7 to 9 a.m. at 15301 West Coffee Road in New Berlin. Come meet me, your girl Noni Juice, and my lovely co-star Benjamin as we help you get right for the weekend. That's Tsunami Express Car Wash, Friday, June 27th at 7 a.m. We hope to see you there. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat. Learn more at tsunamiexpress.com.
Why did Old National Bank decide to create this program?
You know, it was something that was near and dear to the heart of our chairman and CEO, Jim Bryant. Jim wanted us to do more in the African-American communities, more with minority-owned businesses. So he approached Roland Shelton, who was my boss in Evansville, Indiana, and said, Roland, we need to do more. We need to create a program that's going to allow individuals, minority-owned businesses, women-owned businesses to access capital a lot better than traditionally we've been doing. And so we created the Empowerment Loan Program 2 years ago.
And for those that are now leaning more into this conversation, what's the best way to get in contact with you as part of their interest in the Empowerment Loan Program?
I'm going to give you my cell phone number to the listeners. It's 414-687-7393. And if that doesn't work, feel free to reach me at my email, tracy.meeks@oldnational.com.
Tracy Meeks, Senior Vice President, Community Lending Market Executive from Old National Bank.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at WeEnergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
Ready to join the fun? With Girl Scouts Extended Year Membership from Girl Scouts,
you can sign up by June 30th and get up to 18 months of adventure through September 30th, 2026.
Girls starting kindergarten or first grade in 2025 will also receive 3 Get Ready with Girl Scouts activity books,
featuring games, crafts, and stories the whole family will love, for free. Plus, you'll even get a special gift from the Girl Scouts. Join today and get ready to grow, explore, and shine with Girl Scouts.
Don't scroll past summer. Experience it live at Summerfest because it's more than just a music festival. It's your summer highlight reel. Don't miss Summerfest, June 19th to July 5th. Presented by American Family Insurance. Get tickets at summerfest.com.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Serious truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices today.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I'm just listening to the words.
Up again and again, but the dictionary doesn't know the meaning of friends. And if you ask me, you know I couldn't be much help, because a friend's somebody you judge for yourself. Some are okay and they treat you real cool, and some mistake your kindness for being a fool. We like to be with some because they're funny. Others come around when they need some money. Some you grew up with around the way, and you're still real close to this very day. Homeboys through the summer, winter, spring, and fall. And then there's some we wish we never knew at all. And this list goes on again and again. But these are the people that we call friends.
Only problem I got with that, right? He said we. I don't call them friends. 833-212-1017 is the number. We've been talking about friends all day. Friends, people that pretend to be your friend, and they're really not your friend. I'm just saying. 833-212-1017 is the number. It's 80 degrees outside, feels like 84. The humidity is at 69%. Pressure's dropping. Winds are from the east at 3 miles an hour. So you ain't really getting the breeze. Like, you're going to have to be outside with a shirt off, which scares me more than anything, to get a breeze because it's warm outside. It's also, might rain too. So you got to be careful with that. Have you seen these pop-up, like buy now, pay later? Like I have a credit union account, and every now and then they'll send me a text that says, "Hey, you can pay now, you can buy now and pay later." And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, I don't understand what that means. Is there a fee that goes with it or something? Well, credit scores could soon reflect how well or poorly American consumers are handling the popular buy now, pay later. It's known as a blind spot to lenders. This is from CNN. It's on blackenterprise.com. By late 2025, FICO scores, their credit score, plans to launch credit card suites that include buy now, pay later data for its Score 10 and Score 10T models, so lenders can get an inside look at consumer repayment behavior. I think that is absolutely unconscionable. That is garbage, and you shouldn't use it. That's just my opinion. It's like it's an installment loan, but it really isn't an installment loan. You're not going out. They're offering it to you. And I think if a company offers you something, you shouldn't be, it shouldn't negatively reflect you when they put you in that situation. I'm just saying. It's not like you called somebody and said, "Hey, can I get a loan?" They offered it to you, so they shouldn't be reporting that to the credit. I think what's happening is the credit places, which all the banks and all that put together themselves, they created it. There wasn't this little thing that just showed up. They created it so that they could figure out who they could make more money off of. They talk about it being a flexible payment option, but it's a flexible internal payment option. You're using it internally. Now you're saying you're going to report that to the credit reporting agency as if you're helping somebody out. But what it's going to do is cause the reporting agency to be able to use that information against you if it's deemed to be negative or if it counts towards your total debt load. So what are we doing? Makes absolutely no sense. Several American consumers view them as more flexible payment options or look to smooth out larger transactions to meet their budgets better. How about you just budget better and not buy it? Experts like Bankrate's chief credit analyst Tom Rossman said the new development will either be a plus or a loss for consumers dealing with credit issues. But who will be affected the most? Data from the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and the Federal Financial Protection Bureau highlight that women, Black, and Latino consumers with low credit scores and those making between $20,001 and $50,000 have been the key to these types of loan success. They're more than likely to use buy now, pay later. So check this out. And I know you're not old enough, Glenn. You know what layaway is?
Yes, I know what layaway is.
I'm just saying. Have you ever used layaway?
My mom used it pretty frequently.
That's not what I asked you. See that. You ain't never used layaway.
No, not personally.
Right? I'm not saying that as a negative. I'm saying as most people don't think like that. So now we got a whole generation of Glens who have seen their parents and their grandparents use layaway, but there was no interest on layaway. Think about that. There's no interest on layaway. Now there's going to be interest on layaway, and it'll go towards your credit rating. And if you got bad credit and you miss a buy now, pay later, you're jacked. That's like missing a payment on your layaway. You know what you lost on your layaway? You lost the money, and it just went back to the shelf.
I was going to say, so they no longer return the product. They charge you for it as well?
No. You already have the product. Now I'm going to jack your credit. So the place that I was already at that said I was good enough to pay for it, but now that I can break it down into payments, is telling me, no, we're going to jack your credit because now you got to buy now, pay later. It can only reflect negatively. Why are we doing this to people? Because we want to squeeze every dime out of people that we possibly can. And then your debt creeps up. And I would never trust Bankrate because they're a credit company, right? They're saying people's debt will creep up and they have to report it and it's going to cause all sorts of troubles. How about no more buy now, pay later? How about we do that? How about we tell people, you know what, buy now, pay later? Yeah, get rid of it. We just don't. I'm never using it. Never. I'm not going to use it. You're going to end up paying more in the long run. According to Fox Business, this is from Black Enterprise, Lending Tree data from April 2025 reveals 25% of users have used the service to purchase groceries. Now, how much groceries are you buying that you need buy now, pay? When I think of buy now, pay later, you bought something like my credit union will say, hey, you're eligible for buy now, pay later. Why would I do that? Why would I possibly do buy now, pay later, and I use the debit card? You're supposed to just pay the bill. You're saying buy now, pay. I don't think I spent over $100 on buy now, pay later. Like, what are you, like, I don't even check the email to see what purchase they're telling me I can buy now, pay later. Because I don't think I spent over $100. Like, it just makes no sense. It's another way to make money off people, to take what little money they have now. People have used it to purchase groceries, a 14% increase from 2024. FICO's vice president, B&B Scores, Julie May, says the addition represents a significant advancement in credit scoring. No, it doesn't. It advances it because then you can dive deeper into people's information, get their data, and sell it. Buy now, pay later loan. Pay later. That's how upset I'm about. I can't even say it. Buy now, pay later loans are playing an increasingly important role in consumer financial lives. No, they're not. She feels the expansion is enabling lenders to more accurately evaluate credit readiness. Right. So now I have more of a reason to not give people credit when they need it. Right when I thought I've heard everything. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazica.
Southbound on 94, good news. That earlier accident at 7 Mile Road is gone, and so are the delays. So everything's looking good through there. We do still have some pretty hefty delays along eastbound 94, coming in from Highway 164 all the way past Barker Road, back on the brakes from the zoo all the way to Hawley Road. And then westbound is backing up out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard with some more delays from Sunny Slope to Calhoun. Southbound 41, heavy from just before Good Hope Road all the way down to Capitol. And then on the northbound side, we've got some delays north of Watertown Plank Road, pretty much all the way up to about Hampton. That's where it starts to let up a bit. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, chance for scattered storms, a low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy, chance for scattered storms, a high of 73. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazica on 101.7 The Truth.
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harrison is next on 101.7 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
At Hope Christian Schools, they're transforming lives through the power of Christ-centered education. Their nurturing environment combines academic excellence with strong Christian values. They offer free transportation and free tuition options to help set children up for success. Through faith, dedication, and unconditional love, they empower their scholars to discover their God-given potential and pursue their greater purpose. Don't wait. Start your child's journey at hopeschools.org.
Hey everybody, it's Sherwin Hughes, and I got to tell you about one of my absolute favorite places in the city, Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, located on the northwest side of Milwaukee at 8617 West Brown Deer Road. Mr. B's is your go-to destination for comfort food, an incredible drink menu, and live music that keeps the vibes going all night long. So whether you're winding down or if you want to turn up, Mr. B's has the flavor, the energy, and the atmosphere you've been looking for. Mr. B's Privileged Lounge, privileged to serve.
It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Tory Lowe with his truth.
As I reflect on my journey, I'm reminded of God's blessings and guidance. I've been fortunate enough to accomplish some remarkable feats, including walking 750 miles from Milwaukee to Washington, D.C. in honor of the Civil Rights Movement. I also walked against violence from Milwaukee to Chicago and back for 7 consecutive years. My feet are still recovering, but my spirit remains strong. I've been privileged to advocate for victims of police brutality, search for missing persons, and participate in numerous protests. Last year, I was honored to visit the White House with my colleagues from 101.7 The Truth to discuss pressing issues in the Black community with the Biden administration. Throughout my broadcasting career, I've received several first-place Wisconsin Broadcast Association awards for The Tory Lowe Show. I've also had the opportunity to be part of ESPN 94.5's Packer pregame show at Lambeau Field. As I look back, I am grateful for the incredible journey. Salute to my brothers and sisters on the front lines. And thank you for your tireless efforts and dedication. We're in this together, and I could not have done anything without the love and support of my community. I want to remind you to keep pushing forward, stay vigilant, keep your head on a swivel. Green don't always mean go, and look both ways before you cross the street. And always look out for one another. In 2025, we still got a lot of work to do. God bless you, and I love you.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Tory Lowe Show, weekdays from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m.
This is
Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Nazir Spencer. The Milwaukee Brewers are heating up. They just swept the Twins over the weekend, capping it off with a 9-8 win on Sunday behind big bats from Rhys Hoskins and Bryce Terang.
The 0-2 pitch. Struck him out looking. Ball game over. Trevor McGill shuts the door on the Twins comeback, and the Brewers sweep Minnesota in the Twin Cities.
They've now won 4 straight and sit at 43-35 on the year. The Oklahoma City Thunder are the 2025 NBA champions after beating the Indiana Pacers in Game 7 of the finals. 103-91 was the final score. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander led the way with 29 points and 12 assists, earning finals MVP honors.
You play the sport to win. You play every sport to win. We have a team full of competitors. We did what it took this year to be champions, and we deserve this.
The Sports Update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
You are listening to Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. I thought I told you that we won't stop. Check it out.
Jesus, the notorious. All right, so which one? Tupac or Biggie?
Biggie.
Of course you're going to say Biggie. You're from New York. Anyway. I'm torn. I got to put them both equal. Both equal. That's only because you're from New York. May care about New York. Especially the Knicks. I had to throw that in there because, again, congratulations to the OKC who won it. I knew they would win it. I love it. I'm glad. Now, if Halliburton hadn't got hurt, I don't know if they would have won it. I'm just saying. But they were still behind. So, just saying. They was still 14 points behind at the time? So, I don't know. And guess what? It doesn't matter because I wasn't playing. Therefore, my favorite words. I don't care. Hey, Truth Nation, violence is a big problem that affects us all, but together we can make a difference. That's why we're hosting our 3rd annual Truth Walk Against Violence, led by Tory Lowe on Saturday, July 12th, from Victory Over Violence Park down MLK Drive right to our studio at the 3rd Street Market Hall. So over the next month, Tory Lowe will be speaking with politicians and community leaders about how we can better provide resources to stop the rise of violence. So if you want to gain a foothold on the fight to stop violence, go to truthwalkagainstviolence.com. That's truthwalkagainstviolence.com. Sign up. Our walk is supported by 1MKE. That's on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. till 12 noon. Also want to remind you, Summerfest is back. Y'all heard about it. We've been talking about it every day on every show. And the award-winning 101.7 The Truth has got you covered with free tickets. So tune in to The Truth all week as you will have a chance to enjoy Summerfest on us. We will be giving away one 18-pack of tickets to Summerfest every day on The Truth. Yes, you heard that right. An 18-pack of tickets to Summerfest. So you, your family, your friends, everybody can enjoy Summerfest on us. So just listen for your cue to call every day so you don't miss your chance to go to the biggest party on the lake, courtesy of 101.7 The Truth. Summerfest is presented by our founding partner, American Family Insurance. Y'all want me to sing it? I don't remember singing. Glenn's like, oh my gosh, no. Please don't. Miles said, Dr. Ken, do you think Carmelo has a chance? Well, let's look at the facts. He killed the guy. And he was carrying a knife he shouldn't have had. And he felt threatened by a group of people, and he was carrying a knife. And he killed somebody. Didn't Kyle Rittenhouse kill somebody? Didn't he come across the state lines illegally? I'm sorry, he didn't come across the state lines illegally. He crossed the state with a gun illegally. He was, 16, 17 years old? I think he was 16. And killed somebody and got off. Same instance, right? You're there, You have a weapon that you're not supposed to have. Some stuff jumps off and you defend yourself. Same thing happened to Carmelo. Will he get off? If he has a lawyer that is good enough. And see, here's the, I don't want to be hated when I say this. When you go to court, the race of your lawyer does not matter. I want the best lawyer that'll get me off. I'm not looking for a race of I need a black lawyer. Nah, I don't need a black lawyer. If the best one is a black lawyer, that's the one I'm going to choose. But I want to get out of jail. Rephrase. I don't want to go to jail. I definitely don't want to go to prison. So let me hire the lawyer that I can afford. That's the best. Regardless of who it is, male, female, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, I don't care. Be the best so I can get out. And hopefully that's what they did for Carmelo, and that he'll be able to have a good defense. It's whether or not they take it into account that he had the knife, but he shouldn't have had the knife. He was in public. All those things will count. So, yeah, interesting. They was talking about driving and people going to California. California's bad. Miami's bad. Atlanta's bad. But, hey, Mr. Medee, ATL's not trash. So I don't know what you're talking about. That's one of my favorite cities. So you better watch yourself. You better watch it. That's one of my favorite cities. Don't make me jump in this chat. Come after you. I like California. I like the weather, but living out there is just
Don't touch that dial. More of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Truth Nation, unfortunately, violence is on the rise in Milwaukee, and this is a problem which impacts us all. Please join me and the Truth team on Saturday, July 12th from 9 a.m. to noon for our third annual Walk Against Violence, supported by 1MKE. Enough is enough. Now it's time to bring an end to senseless violence in our community. To join our Walk Against Violence on Saturday, July 12th, visit truthwalkagainstviolence.com to sign up today.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
State Fair is right around the corner, and it's time to savor the savings. These $15 tickets will only be available through June 29th. Save today so you'll be feeling good at the Wisconsin State Fair, presented by U.S. Cellular, July 31st through August 10th.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's been a great day. I want to say thank you for hanging out with me. Yeah, I was reading the UWM and UW-Madison have to look over their budget because now they, we don't know how things are going to go at the state and federal level, so we're going to shave 5% of their 2026 budget. Hey, you who houses, communities, families have been doing that in the 10%, 15% range for a while. Thanks for catching up a little. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Make sure you hang out for the best in Milwaukee Black Talk. I'll be back in 22 hours, God willing. God bless. Take care. Glenn, appreciate you. What hat is that you got on?
New York Rangers hat.
Oh, okay. New York. Okay.
Be quiet.
Indeed, I will.